One thing I love about working on old stuff is you know that it's all standard sizes. So I'm going to leave the coolant neck on, and then I'm going to take this apart. And there's a pattern which, if I don't know, I kind of do this. So when I'm tightening inside out in a counterclockwise motion, so then when I go to loosen something, I go outside in a clockwise rotation. So, see if I can zoom out a little more. Start sequence now. So I'm just going to break them loose in increments. Oh, I forgot to drain the coolant, so I got coolant coming like crazy. Alright, so I'm going to drain the coolant out. You guys probably can't see. Oh, you can see it right there. Where coolant's coming out of the head. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but this is all coolant that runs through the passages and keeps the engine cool. It's good antifreeze, so I'm saving it to put back in here, hopefully. I'll be back when the coolant's done. Okay, coolant's almost done draining out of there, so I'm going to go through and keep going through and loosen these things up. Just a little bit at a time till I can feel there's no more tension left on it. That feels pretty good. And once I get it where I know they're all loose to about the same tension, I will. Gosh, did I just do that? Get it. Yeah, it's gotta be. Take it all the way apart. Okay. I didn't drain all the coolant out of it, but enough for now. Okay. Let's get this thing to spin. Yet again, my camera died, but anyway, I got the head off. Here's our head gasket. Which, some head gaskets are reusable, but I don't know why you would ever go through the trouble. And something like this, I guess it would probably be alright. It looks good. That cylinder is extremely clean. So, that's weird. Okay, time for a cleaning montage. I'm going to clean up basically the valves. Tops of the pistons I'm not too worried about because I got to pull the pistons out anyway to get the rings. So I'll just clean up around the top of the cylinders and the deck surface is what it's called.
Okay, I just finished up the last little bit of cleaning. So what you see there's got the deck surface nice and cleaned up. The valves, cleaning the top of the valves doesn't do a whole lot. It's just removing carbon deposits. Really what matters is the valve seat and the valve face. So I got to order piston rings for sure. So while we wait for those, I'll pull out the valves, take a look at those, as well as pull the connecting rods or drop the oil, pull the connecting rods, push the pistons up through the bores and take a look at those. So yeah, not looking too bad so far. See if we can get the parts. That'll be in an upcoming video too, like how to resource parts for this.
All right, so I'm gonna go through and label each one of these pistons so I can match the piston to the bore if I need to. Well, you should do that. What am I talking about? So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 from front to rear. 2, 3, 4. There we go. Three. And I might be replacing pistons, but 2 is really clean for some reason. I don't know why. Usually when something's that clean, you kind of assume that it was getting coolant in there, because if you get a little bit of coolant that goes in there, like steam cleans it, it doesn't usually have a lot of carbon buildup. Really, I wouldn't even have to label one, but I'm not even going to label one because it's too hard to get in there. So there was, I don't know if you guys saw me, I was feeling to see if there's any ridge. And there can be a ridge buildup. There can be a ridge buildup from where that piston is constantly coming and stopping at top dead center. And it can get like a carbon buildup on top of where the rings are, but this one there's nothing on it. I don't see anything much for cross hatching except for cylinder 4. But ooh. But a good thing is there's no scoring. So really, I'll next video we'll. I guess this thing's gonna go in the garage for a while. I'll show you guys the head too. I'll get the head all cleaned up, and so that's kind of cool. You guys will see an engine rebuild. Well, at least rings and maybe connecting rod bearings. I'm gonna do as little as possible to get this running because the engine or the rear end in this thing sounds like it's gonna explode at any minute. Yeah, so really the process isn't that bad. We'll drop the oil, pull the pan out. I'll do this. Hey-yo. Gosh, what do you guys think of this mustache? So really the plan will be now, I'll push this inside, and probably tomorrow morning I'll shoot another video for next week. I mean, if I can get it edited and air it in the same week, I might do that. But I'll drop the oil out of it, pull the pan, and then pull the connecting rods. Pop the pistons back up through the top. Take a look, I'll pull the rings off and put those in the bore, and then I'll measure to see what my ring end gap is. It looks like the pistons are a fairly tight fit yet, which is good. So hopefully I can just get new rings for it, or hone it out, get new rings, and should be good to go. All right. So this one I went through a bunch of troubleshooting too, because I could get it to run, just didn't have power. So then I thought maybe it was a governor spring, and I never really cared too much to look into it. There was basically a free tractor that was given to me. I think I paid $100 for it. It wasn't running at the time, so then I fixed it, got it running, ran it down here for a little bit, but it's definitely time for a rebuild on this. Alright, see you on the next one.